Secrets of the crown have always captivated the public, but none are more intriguing than those surrounding Princess Diana's estate. With an unprecedented revelation from Prince William, the veil of royal secrecy is being lifted. Why did royal advisors strive to keep these details hidden? What truths about Diana's legacy could shake the foundation of the monarchy itself? Before we go deeper into what this really means for the royal family, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single update. In an unexpected move, Prince William has stepped into the spotlight, not with the charm and diplomacy usually associated with his royal duties, but with a declaration that has sent shockwaves through the corridors of Buckingham Palace and beyond. Diana's estate, a topic once shrouded in mystery, holds within it tales of heartbreak, hope, and a legacy constructed far away from the public eye. The whispers of these stories were buried deep, hidden beneath layers of royal protocol and the cautious suppression of the palace's long-standing advisors. Why were these guardians of royal tradition so desperate to obscure the truth? Perhaps it is because the very essence of Diana's legacy challenges the monarchy's image that they fought so hard to preserve. It was Prince William's bold statement that set the entire spectacle in motion, a reminder of his mother's enduring spirit and his determination to see her truths unveiled. No longer willing to play into the design of faceless advisors, William unraveled the tapestry they wove. A tapestry that masked the more complex narrative of Diana's influence and the wealth designated to causes she cherished. The gravity of this step forward cannot be understated. It is a familial decision intertwined with love, duty, and the lingering shadows of those who have shaped his life. For William, the struggle is more than public duty, it's personal, etched into the fabric of his understanding of who his mother truly was. As her past comes into focus, the world sees a window into his own heartache, shaped by years of loss and longing. The revelations ignite a firestorm, the media poised in a frenzy, the public hungering for every detail, fueling a discourse on what Diana wrote and said in silence, words waiting to roar. Eyes across the globe are fixed on this unfolding saga, curious and expectant, yearning for the accuracy of history untarnished by deceit and adulation. Yet, as every layer is carefully peeled away, new questions arise, teasing answers just beyond reach. There's an electricity in the air, a prelude to the revelations that promise to shake the firmament of the monarchy itself. As Prince William speaks the unspoken, the shadows of the past are illuminated, casting doubt on everything we thought we knew about the royal family. But what truths lie deeper within the estate's secrets? A whisper of betrayal rippled through the corridors of power, echoing within the very heart of the monarchy. These murmurs, barely audible to the public, carried a heavy burden of truth. As the alleged guardians of Diana's interests, the royal advisors, positioned at the central vein of influence, were entrusted with safeguarding a legacy, yet played a dangerous game where shadows stretched further than the eye could see. Who really were these figures pulling strings from behind the royal curtains, their faces as enigmatic as the roles they held? Known for their cold, precise control, their influential capacity could alter landscapes within the realm. An insidious narrative started to emerge. What whispered conversations perched on the edges of truth and deceit wove a web threatening to snare even the most revered branches of the royal family tree. This tapestry of clandestine maneuvers and hidden agendas loomed ominously over the pristinely kept estate Diana once lovingly called home. With her sudden and tragic passing, the estate became more than a monument to memory. It turned into a battlefield, furtively altered in ways invisible to the outside world. Papers, signed in noble ink, hinted at changes inconspicuously extracting pieces of Diana's cherished sanctuary, before slipping back into expertly kept vaults of silence. These alterations, subtle yet significant, spread like watercolors on a gradually soaked canvas of intrigue. Shockwaves pulsed through the palace, reverberating between ancient walls and halls that have seen centuries of history unfold. For Prince William, standing firm amid these tremors proved easier in appearance than in reality. Each whisper of deceit tugged brutally at the threads binding him to his own bloodline. Alas, trust, once shambled, struggles to find solace in the lineage veins of royalty. Yet, what was the true intrinsic nature of this betrayal? Were these advisors defending Diana's estate or actively seeking its collapse under a fade of royal protocol? The drafts imbued with betrayal suggested motives driven less by reverence and more by an unyielding grip on a narrative to be controlled. The question of safeguarding or sabotaging twisted with a ferocity that few could bear to unravel. Vision clouded with melancholy, the tears and the turmoil clouded the resolve of Diana's devoted offspring. Her memory, an unyielding beacon of unparalleled strength and empathy, hung perilously close to becoming just another pawn in a grandiose chess game. The emotional entwine fastening Diana to her sons, once a hallowed inviolability, trembled against the weight of revelation. William and Harry, cradled by some of her deepest confidences, found themselves at a crossroads, where love for their mother met a burgeoning swell of confrontation. Beyond the watchful eyes of their regal guardians, blurring lines between loyalty and betrayal sharpened like blades aimed straight at their hearts. The threatening undercurrents of dissatisfaction and discontent simmer, hidden from prying eyes but searingly potent within the private chambers of the monarchy. Such tensions, concealed from the public arena, mounted like a storm gathering strength, waiting for the moment of tempestuous release. A veiled unease wound its way through the royal fabric, threatening to yank apart the very seams that held tradition and expectation in precarious equilibrium. As the nuanced fabric, wrapped in duplicity, unfurls further, truths more ominous than the family could fathom begin to rise, casting Diana's cherished legacy into imminent peril. These revelations, bearing a weight huge and heavy, promise to flip not just the tale of an estate, but potentially tear asunder the institution that stands as the guard of history and its heirlooms. As the intricate tapestry of deception unfolds, and even more foreboding truth lurks, the battle for Diana's true legacy is far from over, and the implications could shatter royal traditions forever. Whispers of a conspiracy to control Diana's wealth have swirled for years. But this isn't just about money, it's about legacy, power, and control. Discover the conspiracy that could potentially alter the course of British royal history and expose the hidden puppeteers. In the hushed corridors of power, where the weight of centuries presses upon every decision, Diana's estate plans were always meant to safeguard her sons, William and Harry. Her wishes were clear, a poignant reflection of a mother's love beyond the reach of earthly demise. Yet, once the dust settled after her tragic loss, what emerged was a decidedly different tapestry. One woven with deceit and obscured intentions, raising questions as chilling as the night in which they were born. As legal documents finally saw the flicker of public scrutiny, a shadowy world of hidden clauses came into sharp focus. The labyrinthine nature of Diana's estate unraveled with each passing day, revealing unexpected benefactors who lurked silently, ready to capitalize on a tragedy that shook the crown to its foundation. Money was merely a thread in this intricate web, tugged at by hands unseen, intent on seizing Diana's legacy, not just the tangible wealth, but the echo of her rebellion against conformity. The prophet jabbed at the hearts of those rightful heirs, inattentively thrust into a fight as unrelenting as it was personal. William and Harry, mere boys thrust under a microscope that magnified every tear of grief into public spectacle, found themselves grappling with an inheritance more than monetary. It was a battle for clarity against the oppressive tide of royal secrecy. Their souls warred against a wave of doubt, for behind the velvet curtains of royal pageantry, a merciless calculus was at play. Betrayed by those who ought to be protectors, their journey became one of unyielding resilience, a call for justice that whispered unsettling truths through the stately halls. Even within the monarchy's tightly knit circles, loyalties frayed like strands of a worn tapestry, caught between duty's call and the siren song of honesty. Vows of tradition clashed violently with the pursuit of truth, casting long shadows over even the grandest of inheritances. The revelation that Diana's hopes were possibly hijacked brought a sense of betrayal, courting the risk of fracturing the image of immortality that the royals so painstakingly sought to maintain. Hearts once thought steadfast in their devotion to duty now found themselves torn asunder, caught in the hurricane of loyalty and familial bonds tested to breaking. As the public leaned in, eyes wide, their cries for transparency grew into a chorus that could not be ignored. The people's backing lent fire to the prince's resolve, fanning the flames of revelation that threatened to expose every royal pretense of unity and decorum. Their unwavering support powered the investigative drive necessary to untangle the tightest knots of deceit, unearthing truths not just buried within the vaults of Diana's wealth, but preserved in the memories of a nation that mourned alongside her sons. Yet, even as the storm brewed, promising seismic shifts within the House of Windsor, the truth waded through a mire of power plays and emotional turmoil that refused easy articulation. The specter of conspiracy not only tightened its grip on the monarchy, but threatened to redefine how one would perceive royal power dynamics forevermore. The inconceivable choices Diana faced in life and legacy loomed large, hinting at revelations yet to unfurl as those entwined within her world battled to uphold her enduring vision. The threads of conspiracy tighten around the monarchy, driving a wedge that could splinter familial ties and redefine royal influence. Yet, the truth remains elusive, revealing Diana's impossible choices that lead to unexpected revelations. In her final years, Diana found herself navigating the perilous labyrinth of royal politics, where every step was shrouded in deception and intrigue. She had been thrust into a world where genuine smiles were rare and whispered plots were as common as the Buckingham fog. In these years, Diana was not just a princess. She was a symbol, an emblem of hope to many, yet a thorn in the side of those who sought to maintain the status quo. She faced choices that could build or breach the delicate ties that bound her to the gilded cage, her heart oscillating between the call of duty and her desire for authenticity. Within the royal circle, Diana's relationships took on a nature so strained yet calculated it was akin to walking a tightrope over an abyss. There were glimmers of support, but alliances were always tentative. Her engagement within this nest of formality was a constant dance of defiance and diplomacy, where every smile had layers, every gesture a potential consequence. She was a mother before she was a monarch, her priorities clashing with the crown's demands, a conflict that often saw her making sacrifices she could scarcely afford. Diana's role as a mother, intertwined with her public persona, meant shielding William and Harry from the storms of scandal, while teaching them to survive beneath the relentless gaze of expectation. Beneath the surface, Diana fought battles the public never saw, costs so private they were only whispered among the trusted few. The crown that adorned her head came with a price tag far beyond pearls and sapphires. It required pieces of her soul. She contended with the oppressive weight of royal decorum and the harsh spotlight that dissected her every action. It was within these pressures that she found solace, occasional breathers in the company of her chosen confidants, those rare souls with whom she could unravel her regal mask and reveal the truth that lay beneath. These confidants held her secrets within silken whispers, safeguarding the stories only she could tell. In the shadows of the palace walls where laughter rarely echoed, Diana's nurturing spirit refused to be dimmed. She longed for her sons to lead lives unburdened by similar chains, instilling in them not just the values of the throne, but a deeper understanding of compassion amidst complexity. She foresaw their futures as both destined and malleable, their legacy a tapestry woven from her own trials and triumphs. How ironic that the same burdens that sought to bind her have now equipped her sons to lay bare the truths she once shielded them from. As Diana's life unfolded within complexity and contradiction, the heart of her legacy beat strongest within the revelations unearthed by her son. Yet, what price will the royal family pay for these truths? Inheritors of a divided legacy, Prince William and Prince Harry wage their own battle within the royal arena. Struggling with the burden of knowledge and duty, will they emerge as the unyielding protectors of their mother's truth, or become casualties of an age-old institution? As the world watches with bated breath, the brothers stand at a crossroads, each navigating their own turbulent path through a labyrinth of obligations and expectations. William, bound by the gilded chains of duty, strives to honor their mother's legacy through the fade of traditional decorum, his every move scrutinized by a nation demanding adherence to royal protocol. Yet, beneath his poised exterior lies a simmering conflict, a relentless whisper of truth that demands to be heard above the whispers of palace corridors. He wrestles with the intricate dance between loyalty to ancestry and fidelity to his mother's unvarnished truth, a battle that tests not only his convictions but the core of his inheritance. Harry, in stark contrast, treads a path untamed and laden with defiance. He channels his mother's indomitable spirit, irrevocably entwined with memories of kindness and rebellion, to pierce through the thick veneer of opulence that cloaks the monarchy. His choice to forge a life divergent from royal convention stands as a tribute to Diana's legacy, but it also casts shadows over the ideals that define his heritage. In his quest to illuminate truths, Harry is met with resistance, a palpable tension that simmers beneath the surface, threatening to break the bonds that tie him to the realm he was born into and the family he has vowed to protect. Together, the brothers present a formidable front against systemic secrecy. They illuminate cracks within the institution, challenging long-held veils that conceal truths and shape perceptions. The echoes of their mother's teachings resonate, urging them to unveil the narratives tucked away behind closed palace doors. But the cost of such defiance is not without weight. For in exposing the shadows, they risk unleashing a torrent of repercussions that may redefine not only their place within the royal fabric, but the monarchy itself. Childhood memories, painted with the vivid hues of hidden truths, haunt them. The bittersweet recollections of Diana's whispered tales in the refuge of night, her laughter tempered by unspoken fears, linger like a haunting melody. These moments, intertwined with the innocence lost to palace walls, fuel their resolve yet gnaw at their peace. The ramifications ripple through their personal lives, casting long shadows over their relationships and public personas. A delicate dance with burgeoning tensions ensues, each move scrutinized, each statement dissected. Foreshadowing of escalating family tensions looms ominously on the horizon. Allegiances are tested as each brother grapples with the pull of blood versus the drive for truth. The very fabric of their relationship begins to fray under the weight of unasked questions and unresolved grievances. Will they stand united, holding the torch of Diana's legacy aloft? Or will the chasm widen, driven by forces both seen and unseen, threatening to rend their bond asunder. Even as brotherly bonds reinforce their resolve, the looming shadow of the establishment tests their unity, threatening to unravel the very essence of Diana's legacy and the brothers' place in monarchy's future narrative. Within the majestic walls of the palace, an invisible battle brews. Conflicts simmer, loyalties are questioned, and secrets could redefine the monarchy's future. Travel through the maze of royal tradition, where the stakes are high and only the most resilient will survive unscathed. The grand stone corridors echo not with laughter or the regal commands of yore, but with whispers. Whispers that serpentine through shadowy halls, fueled by the revelation of Diana's estate affairs. It is as if her spirit stirs the secrets her life left behind, now threatening to disrupt a history steeped in silence. Armed with the potency of truth, these ghosts, unsettling and raw, demand attention from those in power, promising to reshape the royal narrative. In the midst of this fray, figures clad in power armor find themselves entangled in a dance of alliance and deceit. Lines are drawn in the metaphorical sand as loyalty shifts like the sands of time itself. Some stalwarts cling desperately to the moss-covered stones of tradition, wary of the churning tide of change. They murmur of dignity and legacy, while others rally around the pulsing heart of truth, bolstered by Diana's everlasting influence. The question prowls each corner of the palace: who will stand by the honor of truth, and who remains a bastion for the time-honored tradition? Bridging this widening chasm is William, a voice raised like a clarion call, unmistakable amidst the rumble of dissonance. His presence is a testament to his mother's enduring legacy, an embodiment of her voice that long challenged the confines of royal barriers. For him, the emotional toll is staggering, a personalized saga set against the backdrop of global scrutiny. The burden is heavy, yet with each public utterance and every solemn declaration, he challenges the monarchy to peer into the mirrored soul of its own customs. Yet the cost of such convictions is not negligible. It's etched in the very air he breathes, amongst family portraits and aged traditions. The monarchy, with its centuries-spanning tapestries of wisdom and power, finds itself at a crossroads, a place it has not ventured in generations. Its strategic responses, imbued with heaviness, range from the stifling silence of denial to the incendiary possibility of transformative action. These decisions are no longer made in the quiet rooms where monarchs and ministers once whispered. They are shaped by the eyes of the nation, whose keenness is no longer dulled by reverence, but sharpened by expectation. The need for change, for action, breathes upon the neck of royalty like a relentless, unwelcome wind. Beyond the palace, the public gathers, a formidable sea of influence. Their role is unprecedented, an omnipresent force that looms large over this house of power. Advocacy beats like a drum in the distance, echoing within the palace as piney marbled floors transmit each footfall of change. It is their pressure that bends the royal family's will, an intertwined will of collective voices rising against an ancient tide. This is a court, but not a royal one. A court populated by the very people who once peered in, now expecting voices they were previously denied. Yet within these walls, a tapestry unfolds, portraying unity against the storm. The royal family displays a pageantry of calm, a brave facade masking turbulence. But beneath the polished oak tables and gilded chandeliers, an uncomfortable reality whispers. This fracturing inner circle finds itself as much in competition with itself as it is with the expectations of those it serves. Therein lies the paradox, to maintain the semblance of unity while the edifice strains under an irrevocable schism. As the palace becomes a battleground for allegiances and moral decisions, the compass of Diana's legacy directs a transformative conflict, one that could redefine monarchy's meaning for generations. The future's unclear terrain lies exposed, with potential paths spangled with promise and peril, waiting for footsteps sure enough to tread them. Everything leads to this: the explosive revelation set to redefine the royal echelon's narrative and the legacy Diana fought to build. Unravel the shocking truths that demand the monarchy to confront its own image within public consciousness. William stood before a sea of flashing cameras, the weight of history pressing down on him like a shroud. With a voice steady yet trembling at its core, he delivered a public address that would slice through the very foundation of the monarchy as it was known. The gilded mask of inheritance and tradition slipped with every word, each syllable a pinprick unveiling unsettling truths about the estate's manipulative past. What the world knew of wealth and privilege revealed itself to be a fade, meticulously constructed by hands unseen for generations. It was an economic deception so intricately woven into the fabric of the kingdom that even its most devout defenders found themselves questioning the convictions they held dear. As the speech unfolded, an emotional crescendo took hold, each revelation building upon the last, a swelling symphony of truth demanding to be heard. This was more than mere scandal, it was an epoch-defining shift, a seismic tremor promising to reshape the contours of royal legitimacy. William's voice, imbued with his mother's crusading spirit, reached a pinnacle, calling forth a vision of accountability and transparency that Diana had once dreamt of in whispers. Her influence, transcending even her years of life, hung palpably in the air, as if the speeches she might have given few ever heard were now finally echoing through her son's candid words. This revelation was a pivotal moment, not just for the monarchy, but for the very notion of sovereignty that had been draped upon it like an untouchable mantle. Royal traditions, once considered the bedrock of national identity, began to tremble, threatened by the tectonic shift of bolstered claims and righteous indignation. A lineage once cloaked in unquestioned dignity now faced the glare of critical scrutiny, the kind that leaves no room for complacency or passive adherence. The estate's manipulation was set bare, no longer a whispered myth, but a documented narrative that demanded an immediate response from the very institution it threatened to unravel. The aftermath was as ferocious as it was unpredictable. A tidal wave of public emotion surged, rising unbidden as citizens clung to the last fraying threads of respect, or boiled over with calls for reform. Nobody within the institution could remain oblivious. The tidal waves swelled against palace walls with a ferocity that threatened to drown ignorance and indifference alike. Society, in turmoil, grappled with its own love-hate relationship with monarchy, torn between the allure of the mythic past and a sober desire for newfound enlightenment. Inside palace walls, urgency replaced composure in every corner. Opulent meeting rooms echoed with discussions charged in electric energy, questions hurled like frantic life buoys as the monarchy scrambled to regain its footing. Leaders debated behind closed doors, minds twisted in anticipation of paths unwalked. Would they concede and embrace the change long championed by Diana? Or would they resist, doubling down on the secrets that held her aspirations captive for too long? Every decision rippled through time, threatening to etch itself permanently into the legacy yet to be formed. As debates raged and decisions loomed with untold gravity, this moment foreshadowed long-term ramifications that reached far beyond palace gates. It was clear This was neither an ending nor a resolution. It was but a beginning, the opening chord of a new era composing itself from the remnants of an old. The question was not of simple survival, but of evolution. The courage to step beyond the shadow of history into a dawn colored by accountability and hope. The monarchy, at a crossroads, faced the ultimate test, a choice not bounded by walls or crowns, but by the will to redefine itself boldly in the face of change. With the kingdom in uproar and the world watching, the monarchy stands at a crossroads. Embrace the change Diana championed, or reinforce the shadows that held her legacy captive. The revelations surrounding Diana's estate have cast a searching light on the corridors of royal tradition, posing the inevitable question, is this the dawn of a transformed monarchy, or merely the beginning of another relentless night? The choices that the royal family makes now will undeniably chart the course for its future, testing the waters between change and constancy. With William and Harry standing at the forefront, their renewed mission to honor their mother's legacy carries profound emotional weight. For them, this moment is not just about uncovering truths, but also about achieving a higher sense of justice and transparency, a chance to shape the monarchy into a more modern and empathetic institution. The brothers' bond over their shared commitment ignites a spark of hope, setting the stage for a new kind of royal narrative, one that is deeply connected to the people and reflective of its past truths. In the court of public opinion, the revelations about Diana have the potential to foster a new relationship between the monarchy and its subjects. Her enduring legacy, once shrouded in mystery, now speaks louder and clearer, encouraging a future foundation built on openness and honesty. The public, long captivated by Diana's compassion, might finally see reflections of her spirit in an institution typically reserved. Yet, within the palace walls, a tension continues to play out. A struggle between embracing modern progressions and holding on to age-old traditions. The monarchy, in facing these revelations, stands at the precipice of a vital intersection where the old must meet the new. The outcome of this juncture will solidify whether the institution remains an enigmatic relic of the past or evolves into a forward-looking bastion of hope and integrity. As historians and royal experts contemplate the enduring impact of Diana's presence, many assert that much of the royal family's future rides on how adeptly it can integrate these lessons from the past. Diana's legacy, a tapestry of love, loss, and resilience, now lies in the hands of her descendants, who wield the power to redefine what it means to be royal in this century and beyond. The pages of history are still being written, and as the echoes of the past reverberate into the future, only time will tell whether the monarchy chooses to be an embodiment of change or an institution of age-old shadows. What remains certain is that the world watches with bated breath as the next chapter unfolds, hoping for a dawn that breaks with promise and authenticity.